Okay, we are back. Sorry, I also was kind of fidgeting with something, but we are here. Let's keep it going. Also, that's the move of Varus's move in his trial on the Sessiion side. That's cool. You will accompany me back to your camp where I will meet you with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there's something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. How the fuck are we going to do that? That task falls to the legionaries Marcellus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them that you ask the ill for further details in those words. Once you've seen to that, move by the exit. You again. Ask the ill, he said. Okay. So, that to be the way of it after all this. It sounds like we're okay. It already makes it very clear and sounding that they're gonna come attack us in Magitech armor, which seems to be really annoying. So we'll see. How ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, and so be it, for the glory of Garlemald. What do you want with me? Ask the ill, man. Ask the ill. So Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage as a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty. Okay, I don't know what you got them going on to do, but like, I don't trust you. I'm telling you, they're gonna come. They're gonna pilot Magitech armor, and they're gonna come fight us at our base, which is dumb because they're gonna lose, and then they're still gonna think we're gonna try and kill them, and they're gonna freaking squirm at the mercy, and then we're gonna be like, guys, we don't want anything to do with you guys about this nonsense. Just like, let us help you. Have you done as instructed? These duties involve more than transportation supplies, don't they? Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though whether we be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingents. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter, a place I'd like to visit on my way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. What's up, bro? I trust not anything that he's talking about right now. Honestly. What is that thing? Huh. Well, that's very scary. Julius lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Okay, well, let's figure out what you're doing. How are you feeling? What's on the mind?
This is my home. Our home.
Okay.
At least it was, until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to.
Oh my goodness.
I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center. The blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here? If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go. No use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
Oh my gosh. Guys. Come on.
It's so cold. Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varus at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Sessiions. United as one people. One race cleansed of imperfections. A cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varus and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos. Searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
Oh, crap.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
Yikes.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came
Hello?
prepared with a second.
Which is what? Oh, yeah. Okay. I called it.
More are coming! Make ready!
I knew they were going to take the dance cerulean and attack us!
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald,
You son of a...
of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop! Both of you!
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience.
Oh.
They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement.
Do not do this. I swear on so many
It's a grand,
levels.
glorious dream we shared. Of a world united. Of peace and prosperity.
Do not do this.
We are ghosts, you and I. Memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Don't you dare. I'm telling you, don't do this. Don't you dare.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Oh my god. Why did you do it? Why did you do it, man? All for the sake of pride? You couldn't have possibly done that. Why did he... I can't believe that the Garleans are literally willing to, like, they're not giving up any ounce of their pride for literally, like, nothing. But, like, it wasn't necessary. Nicholas, welcome in. like, I don't... Oh my god. This is insane. Like... There's no way. Like... I don't even know. I don't even know why he just didn't, like... He just didn't... Yo, he could have avoided that literally if he just let us help him. Like, for the pride of a nation, that's like, yo, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So like yo, the conception of unity makes a lot of sense in the matter of hands that, you know, you're trying to deal with something, but the thing is that, like, they've been grieving for so long because of the fact that it wasn't even their fault in the first place. And to literally just let that go, there's no way. What else, like, what else is there left? Like, they just need to give in and just understand that, like, the united front that we have established, the whole entire alliance is working towards, like, a grand singularity, and they just refuse to accept that. That's freaking crazy. Like, I can't believe that they just won't join the cause. Because, like, yo, they're not even responsible for their own shit. That's a problem. They're not even responsible. It's not even their fault. But because of the fact that there's a pride of a nation in hand, they're not willing to do a single thing to soak that pride. I can't believe that he took his own life for that reason. That's crazy talk. I can't believe he did that. That, yo, it doesn't even make sense. Even though his compelling point was made very clear. Like, I understood his point, but, like, the problem is that the aspirations that were had for the previous, like, line is... It was actually not good. But he could have actually made a difference if he just let us help him. I can't believe that. Because, like, we don't want anything from him. All we wanted was the tower. That's what I don't understand. Oh my god. Alright. Rant over. Alright. I'm here. Yo, I can't believe that he did that shit. All of this trouble for what? Why? What's even the purpose of trying to reconcile with prisoners and have this whole debacle about whatever, and then you just. Oh my god. I'm shocked. I can't believe that he actually thought that that was a good idea. Why? Why? That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay. I'm here. It's oh gosh. I'm here. That's crazy. Okay. Much and more has occurred since last we met. Never mind. I can't even talk anymore. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. As if. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucy seeks to gain a clear understanding of the present situation. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They're all done. That's the problem. They were preparing for war while the refugees were in care, were left to go hungry, a reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the peoples they were sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Go with Julius back to the station and have them lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alpha, Alize, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I will also have other comrades in the area to support should it be needed. Okay. The thing is that like Julius is smart because he was like screw it, like y'all win, I don't care anymore, like forget everything that I like strived for, none of this matters anymore. Like he gave in, and that's honestly that's a smart move. Like surrender to the fact that we're gonna help you, literally. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just what I was looking for. Let me check. So criminal of this garden. Put in charge of arrangement with the opportunity. See, for the very first time, he becomes bearing William. I asked about helping gain just up and running. The thing. What's more, he's going. I'm convinced the only reason he's okay. In any case, I'm not qualified to judge the most for a man, but feel much more needs to hand speech. Okay. I think if you're wanting to. Appius. He just needed to, give up. Literally. Forget pride. Build the greater tomorrow that literally would have been what he wanted it to be. Like, because even his own subordinate caved in. He was like, screw it, it's over. Like, y'all win. And he's here. Like, okay. 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 You have my thanks for getting to agree to my proposal. Do not misunderstand. I have yet to agree to anything such thing. I merely wanted someone else present during our talk. Very well. They did offer the opening to us in Elizabeth contingent. Unlike, I used to work with Jin Turner from G, so you see, so I know more than most about the facility and its operation. Cool. That may be so, but your relationship to the facility notwithstanding, why should a guardian such as yourself be seeking refuge in Zen? We've been led to believe that the former workers residing there were from other territories. You're right on the technicality. I was a supervisor rather than your typical staff. When the platform went down, it don't seem right that I stay with my crew. I always thought we were close, but living alongside them in Tapper's Den made me realize that I took them and their skills for granted, and that's to say, for the blind eye, I turned to their struggles. That's why I came to you. In high time, maybe some release of them, and everyone else, if we're lucky. If we manage to get the platform back in working order, it'll dramatically increase our capacity to pump and refine cerulean for everyone in the region. Sadly, we're more than a few hands short of a full workforce, not to mention the lack of supplies. Which is precisely where you come in. Help us get things up and running again. You'll have a share of cerulean coming out of the rig. You couldn't come up with a more mutually beneficial arrangement if you tried. So he says, what do you think? He seems trustworthy. Sure. Yes, I've been leaning the same way myself ultimately. What he says about the potential benefits is true. Nevertheless, I doubt the higher-ups would assent to this. I suppose that's how it goes when you're dealing with military types. For what it's worth, I do understand the hesitancy to throw your lot in with someone from a hostile nation. Thus, part 2 of my proposal. I shall do you a service to prove myself worthy of the contingent's trust. I had a look around the fringes of your camp before you arrived, and I've spotted a few cerulean engines in need of repair. If I fix them up, your superiors would have no reason to suspect that I want to see driven out. Less reason in any case. Assisting us with the use of local technology would go a long way, I'd imagine. That said, I've not heard anything about the cerulean engines we've scavenged to break them down. It's not as if they're entirely useless yet, but I guarantee they're not running as they should. Give me the opportunity and I can have them working more efficiently and safely. You're welcome to accompany me while I do so. That way you can ensure that I don't get up to anything suspect, and then vouch for me with your superiors. I have no objection. I will trust you see anything else, or sense anything else. Let us begin with the proper inspection. Then we can get to work as soon as you're ready. Though the ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity, the purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we'll need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I appreciate it if you can do one play your hands on the devices. Never fear, I'm behind you telling you the door. If we inspected 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what we need to repair. Lead the way. Oh, because now he follows me around? Cool. I'm actually very impressed that there's more than just one, main character case scenario, that the interaction for these characters work this way. I think that's really cool. I love that it's literally anybody and everybody that can be doing this. Because half of these characters are probably not going to really, like, I don't know, see from a certain point. I don't know. That's, like I said, I think it's really cool that this exists, that it does. However, okay, I don't know where they are. Search for, I gotta inspect cerulean engines, but there might be also inside. I kind of ran around the place, so there's not one here. Nope. Is there one back here? Nope. Bruh. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's 2. It's gotta be in this building. Or, not in this building, sorry. Back here? Here it is. Lovely. Okay. Praise be to your deft hands. I have an idea where our next step ought to be, but perhaps it would be best to praise remember about progress first. Sweet. If I sprint, what happens? Oh, you follow me. Oh, okay, okay. That's cool. Now I know. I wasn't too sure. That's why I was like walking around the first time through and like kind of just running. But the fact that I can sprint and they still follow me is actually pretty sweet. How are our engines? Alas, as I fear, each of those we examine are guaranteed to break down sooner or later should you continue using them in their current state. Surely you jest. I swear on my integrity as an engineer, you are in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of cerulean engines. You saw the little lamp light up when you touch the switch, correct? That only illuminates when there is an issue with the engine. Whoops. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned, no doubt, which prevented them from burning out. Only to let them free solid instead prior to air letting them on from the city they're in. I can only assume that it didn't occur to you to warn them up first. I noticed you have heating technology of your own, but it will do you no good should the engine's power and then break. Now will it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. And machines from frozen climes myself. What you say sounds plausible enough. Very well. I'll leave the camp. I firmly ask you to repair the engines. I suppose that means I will be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own two hands this time. That's the spirit. I knew you'd come around. Alright. At least we can, like, work on ether current. Cool. I mean, now that's, you know. Now we can at least mount up and go on the way. Well, sort of on the way. We're gonna kind of. This is the one time we're gonna actually like look around for quests or for ether currents that are nearby. Unless I literally can't, then I'll be kind of annoyed. But we'll find out. No, it's up here. I think it should be up here. And if it's not, well then, I lied. No, it's up here. Okay. Oh man. If it's gonna be this heavy all expansion, like I haven't even hit the halfway point yet. Like even upon completing the next segment of stuff, like I'm still not even gonna be halfway. And like, oh man. They've been hot, like we don't know literally anything besides I mean what they hinted at to us, like, I don't even know. Okay, I'm not going to bother with the ones to the north, so let's go to the quest, and then any other on the way, we'll go get those. But I'm not going to do the ones that are, like, not marked on map, because chances are pretty high we're going to get there eventually. Yeah, like that one I'll work on. This expansion is insane. You know what the thing is too, though, is that this expansion is also like classified as like as the finale. So for a finale, it's not okay. It is honestly not okay. I'm in my feelings. I can't cry, but I'm in my feelings because like I honestly don't like it. It's honestly stressing me out with everything because honestly I was not even considering for a split second that like what they were going to be making people do and feel like was going to make it be like this, because like I figured that the third legatus, like Nerva the president or the new emperor or whatever, I mean I get what he's doing. I did not think that the first legatus was still around and also short-lived by conception. That's nuts. Okay, that one I'm probably not going to worry about. Oh, actually, let me see. Maybe I will get it. Let me see. No, I'll get it later. Oh my gosh. Nicholas, how you doing? Okay. Oh, I actually have most of them here. Okay. That's cool. I already forgot that Labyrinthos was even like a thing, honestly. I wasn't even thinking about Labyrinthos at this point. They found out. You don't know? Oh, perhaps I did not get the development. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, they're aware. They better be aware. Jesus. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No. No, he wouldn't. That's... Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. Yeah, he wanted us to be free. Free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over to them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see that they reach our camp safely. Like, literally, they'll all be taken in if they just give in. Theodore refuses to listen to anything, honestly. Not having it. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me. Take me with you, please. Thank you. I keep getting kicked? Oh, sorry. How is the login server queue? Is it still like 2,000 or whatever? Because that'd be kind of nutty, actually. Is that 4K? Jesus. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the queue only enables 700. Honestly, like if you're under 700, you can get in. If it's above, then you just can't. The game just won't let you. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope everything's okay. Honestly, this hurts. This is all I don't know if you're at this point in the story, but like I can't. I honestly can't. It's a finale. Okay. Well, lurk, put this away and go play. I mean, or try to at least. I mean, I understand that like it's going to be tough, but you know. Because it's insane. I'm not watching because yeah, exactly. Good. Okay, just making sure. Then, let me know when you have my volume like impossibly hard to hear, because I'm talking all the non-vocals, so I don't want you to hear something and then get overheard about something. So, or just whatever. Shut up. All right, I'm sorry. Whatever. Cool. Okay. Well, got the ether right sorted out at the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Lat's room is also functioning as normal. That's where the lot of you are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Thank you. Now I can let's tune this thing for goodness sakes. Okay. Oh, there's a quest right there. I'll go get that. It's you. Well, should you subscribe? I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrant savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning until all you're left with is anger and fear, and hate. And I'm too tired. If you and yours will have come to offer aid, I'll be glad to accept. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we had hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are there any refugees willing to come to our camp? I think the 12. You and I should go first to secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures at Tempered Skulking Vault, I expect we'll have our hands full. Done deal. This should come in handy. Conquest Queen, courtesy of our lamenting friends. I'd save it for the Tempered though. I'll mark a few points I need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Sick. Ooh. The Tombstone Aphorism looks freaking dope. I didn't even look at it. I didn't even. Sick. Excuse me, ma'am. Have you seen a little boy with similar hair shade of mine? He's my son. I can't find him anywhere. It's also told me to see if I can't minister and move on solving that you've seen the can't do. He's going to be half an hour for my good. Okay, we can find him. Don't worry. Oh, you will? Bless your heart. I know my son. Probably tries to return to our house in the north of Platinum Novum. Try the persuading. Maybe easier because I think what color is here. I don't know. I can't even imagine coming over here and like mining. Holy crap, man. Another blocked street? Who are you? Your mom's looking for you. Tell her I won't go to the enemy camp. I'm going home. You little mother. The boy's got the hair me. He's gonna escape. Resuming to true. Once again, the boys club will taking a flight, and you'll likely be looking over shoulder for some entrepreneur over the way. Using the hunts. Bro, if you fight me, I'll beat your ass. Alright. Oh, really? You son of a... Alright. That kid, yeah, actually, outplayed me. Okay. Hold on. Oh, it's up there? How the... Because it's not like I can do this, right? How does one get up there? No, that doesn't make sense. Oh, you know, actually? On the other side. Okay. Okay. All this over a ether current. This little kid, man. Perhaps you did. Excuse you? You mother... Sit down. If that kid caught me because of this robot, I would have been chalked. Thinking of building a new house bigger and better than the old one? Bruh. With what's your hands? The child has escaped curiosity again. Though this may be construed as a particularly hard to endeavor, remember that he's only a child and knows no better. Find him before anything comes to harm. Would be that I would. If he didn't elude me. But yet, here we are. And here he is. Eluding. Freaking kid. Why do you care so much? We're enemies, remember? Why are you trying to help me? We're not enemies. Your mom wouldn't want you to find out you're being hurt by a robot? Kid? I don't care what you say. We don't need your help. Yes, you do. But mother's way, I should go back to the station. Smart boy. Smart boy. Freaking boy. Yeah, you see, I knew it. I knew it was on the other side of the bridge and not on the other side I was trying to get on beforehand. However... Bro, that's far. However, I'm not leaving until I get this ether right. Or ether current up here. Bruh. Parkour. Alright. Bro, this is the second quest? Oh, man. Well, the thing is that they actually haven't been appearing in the other ones. So that's kind of like the caveat that I'm coming to the realization of, is that the quest for the jobs... Not the jobs, the actual, like, mission quests, those are not appearing as frequent as they used to. I was wondering when I would see you again. I'm happy to report my son has returned. Poor creature, you should have seen him. Tears pouring out his little cheeks, crying his apologies to me. He was looking for his house, but, you know. There's just still to listen to me, but that's the whole point to me. You're welcome. No worries. For the betterment of the children. At least he's good. Okay. Okay. No, not enough time. I'm gonna put the EXP bar on the top, I think. Okay. Don't hit me. W. I'm leaving. That's what I thought. Out. Out of there. It's a win. Hey, it's good to see a bard. I'll help this guy out. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The temperate proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information for my recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Bro, that girl read way faster than I did. Ah, I was informed of Quintus's... Yeah, it must have come as a great shock to his men. What are the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand accounts. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate the situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees. Perfect understanding, after all, even if I want to make an example of them. There's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of the legatus and that the following his... They offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would have tried as a war criminal, and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he could hope to absolve that have any culpability. Perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I don't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, die with him and it fails to clean his mess. From the cold. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed in here in your absence. Well, quite well as it happens. Now that we procured cerulean from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much needed warmth. Furthermore, we prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that you're capable of wielding a light or two without your assistance. Sweet. On your way, might I ask you to seek out Yustola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be kicking a rest herself. See that she is. Cool. Ooh, okay. I've seen you before in Tertium. Yes, I'm part of the first group change for here, but someone here should I find a small boy right here. Have you seen him? No. He's probably still refusing to budge. Okay. My apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Gala, First Legion. I've been doing what I can for the refugees, so I suppose I'm one myself. You see, I've always tried to help those in need. Some call me a busybody. In fact, before joining the military, I was a member of Vigilis Urbani, and it was our duty to keep the citizenry safe. Wow, I can't say that word. Citizenry safe. There it is. Old habits die hard, though, which is why I'm determined to look after that lad. He's been separated from his parents in the chaos, but he won't leave the station without them. Thing is, no place for a child has to be finding him for himself. You've seen the conditions there. He needs food and warmth, which you and yours have been kind enough to offer. I should go to the station and jump straight into the camp. Could I trouble you to accompany me? I'm doing good to see you, not to see how things you are. Well, he's all the way back in Tertium? Thank you then. No time like the present. That kid is all the way back at the station. Alright. We're gonna go do that later. Let's go figure out what this quest is. Well, now here's a sight for the warrens of heart. I never thought I'd have to meet, or honored to meet the hero of your pedigree, let alone beg for your aid. You see, I've got a certain supplies and that's the type of stand, and having someone who knows the way of land, that's how I've gone along with your choice of weapon. I defended myself, but to carry a bloody thing, I have to be so kind to escort me. I'll shoot you make it worth your while. So you're gonna follow me? Well then, I'll wait until they get to the camp. Come here when you're ready, but that takes a long while. Okay. Okay, so it's pretty much confirmed that we're not... I mean, not confirmed, but... I don't suspect that we'll be coming here after we're done with this area. Actually, that's not entirely true, because we've traveled all over this place. No, we're not done yet. Never mind, I lied. There you are. I know you feel kind of hard... have the hard type of soul in need. There we go. He's not company meek. Okay. Where are we going? Oh, I guess we're going over here. Yep, okay. Understood. It'd be kind of cool to like get on a mount that's like a two-person mount and then they just come with us. That'd be pretty sweet. What the fuck is... Oh, is that a fat cat? Okay, I was like... I hear the pitter-patter of that thing and I was not sure what mount that was, but it makes actually a lot more sense. Okay. You made it to 77 and you say just doing your first duty to get the artifacts to battle the Fairy King, Light Warden, and Shadowbringers? Wow. Just doing your first duty. Wait, you farmed Holminster Switch just to unlock or get Sage 77? Hey, that's dedication. Here we are, safe and sound. I couldn't have done it without you, friend. Now all that's left is to deliver the goods. Let's enter those caves and get some shelter from these maybe freezing winds, eh? Okay. If you actually did just Holminster Switch just to help, or just to get to level 77 on your Sage, then well done. That's quite a bit. Well, the goods have been safely delivered, but I'm afraid I have one more task to beg of you. Of course, I'll do it myself if I could, but I'm afraid to call someone with the skill that I lack. You're not obligated to tell me again, but seeing as how you've already helped, maybe you wouldn't mind hearing me out. I would. No, I just did the Dome Mag duty. Oh, okay. You did. I mean, okay. 77 though? Even still though, I'm surprised that you don't just like go through the story mode with Sage, because it's really efficient to do it that way. I mean, not that what you did is not efficient, but. That's why I haven't even worked on Sage or Reaper yet, because I want to just progress through this first, and so once my Dragoon's at 90, then I'll probably really start cracking at it, because I haven't even touched roulettes, and I haven't even touched my my alts. So I'm definitely going to be spending a day trying to catch up, sort of. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I don't really know what the plan is in terms of the remainder of tonight as well as stream, but I know for a fact that I need to really sit down and like crack at each thing, but we'll see what happens. If my prediction is correct, he should be working somewhere. Yeah, I don't really know yet though. His name is Velusis, and lost nothing better for his scarlet locks. Considering how long he has to leave, I doubt he'd answer if we tried to call him out to him. Okay. I guess we gotta search for Velusis. Okay, he's down here somewhere. Got it. Considering after each Shadowbringer mission I gain over 220k XP. Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. So like, but if you're going through like the story as a whole, then you know, then you would unlock the dungeon that's level 75. I mean, to have like I think like for your sage to be, I mean it's not bad because ultimately you're queuing in as a sage, which is practically instant queue, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, because like I said, I have no intentions of dungeon farming for Reaper and Sage. I'm gonna just go do the deep dungeon because you can easily get to 80 in like under a day, if you like commit to it. I mean, you don't have that unlocked yet, so but if you did have it unlocked, then you know, I don't know how long it would take. I don't know how long it took for you to do Dome Meg to get your Sage to 77. When I was doing right, when I was doing I was trying to work on my Scholar on my primal character. I got to 71 to 78 in like 4 hours, I think, 3 or 4 hours, something like that. Yeah, it's like crazy fast. It's really fast. And also you can work on the relic weapon for it too, which is amazing too. So you kind of like, it's like a win-win. It's good. So yeah, that's honestly the best thing to do. If you beat the game for Shadowbringers, and unlock the deep dungeon for that, then you can honestly level up Sage and Reaper like very easily. It's actually amazing. Getting from 80 to 81, however, is the challenge that I'm not too sure about. But chances are pretty high that people are going to wait until they can get their job via like roulettes and do it that way, because if you do it that way, it's definitely much more efficient. Or at least to be able to like, yeah, like Eureka, Eureka's the Stormblood version. Palace of the Dead is like A Realm Reborn. Well, not Eureka, sorry. It's Heaven on High. That's like the Stormblood version. Shadowbringer has a thing that's called Bojin. I mean, spoiler, but yeah, Shadowbringer has a thing called Bojin where you can pretty much level up your job to 80 like super quickly and easily, and you pretty much just do fades, but you do it specifically in that area, and it's very efficient. It's crazy fast. It's faster than any other way that you can do it right now. So getting from 71 to 80 through that method is insanely quick. Everyone's doing Bojin right now for that simple case, because they want to try and power level Sage and Reaper to 80. Because also you can't do the dungeons, of course, until you get to 81. So you gotta like do roulettes and kind of like mix and manage stuff correctly. I was gonna do Bojin tonight, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm too exhausted after being awake at 3 in the morning. So probably I don't know when I'll end this, but if I do, then hopefully do it early, because then that way I can just sit down, kick back, and relax, and then I'll do roulettes on all my other characters. That's the plan at least, so we'll see. But I have no idea. Okay. Listen here for you. Stay free to join everybody in the camp, I see. True, a little kid's crazy. Not going anywhere, not without mom and dad. He's got green eyes. Don't you see? It's for your own good. I know you. You came here with Julius, didn't you? Please, you can listen to me. Mom and Dad are alive. I know they are. What? No one's saying that they aren't. Sorry to burden you, but I have a feeling he'll be more cooperative once he's got this out of his chest. Hear him out, would you? Lovely. Okay. So now we should be 4 quests solved, and there's 2 shards missing. Excellent. Record base. I don't think that the quest includes no. So we gotta go probably. No, we don't actually. I'm trolling. We don't have to do that because we haven't gone to the next area yet, and because that's the case, we still have more to investigate later on. So yeah, we'll just continue as scheduled. Let's see. Why are my maps so small? Okay. Yes, I've been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water, but what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have established a history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with between the tempered and the first's wounded. So once I unlock the Boja, I can work on my other classes to 80, even if they're 70. Well, so once I unlock Boja, you can work on my other classes to 80. Yes, you have. Well, so the jobs have to be 71 in specificity. Like they have to be 71. But once you 71 them, getting them to 80, you can do it in Boja, and you can do it with every job. So if you can literally get every job to 71, you can just sit in Bojan and you can level them all up, and it's really fast. I think honestly, like in a single day, you can if you really commit to it, and I mean like Netflix in the background and just do fates the whole time, you can hit 80 with 3 jobs in a single day easy. It's a lot though, but like you can do it. Because if I was boringly doing 4 hours and went from 71 to 78, then like yeah, it's really easy. And like also on top of like roulettes and stuff like that too. Like if you do like main scenario and the whole likes too, then yeah, it's really fast. So that's my plan. My plan is to literally unlock Reaper Sage, do whatever I got to do to get them to 71, and then I'm gonna go straight into Bojan and then just get them to 80. And that's literally my job. And after that, I'll probably just dungeon farm them to get to 90. But for starters though, I want to beat the game so that way I can have the dungeons unlocked. Then we do the hard stuff. So we'll see. We're all fortunate enough that none of you. Okay, the first is wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experiences have taken on their hearts and mind is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver, but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing invite disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Okay. Movie time.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Minson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hell course you did. We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back.
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here. At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow Scions, the rift between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea. The Ilsabard contingent. We owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter. I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast. As if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
What? Emperor Varus?
They are being tempered. The talismans. Quickly!
Save me, brave hero!
You son of a...
Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
What? Are you serious? You can't...
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Get the fuck out of here.
Now, it is time for you to awaken.
Get out of my ears. Wait, what? Oh, jeez.
Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold.
What the fuck is going on?
But be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment too to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
What do you mean? Oh my god. Are you kidding?
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing.
What? Where? Actually, where?
We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo.
I'm acquainted.
His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Give me my fucking body now.
And permit you to go on a righteous rampage instead of partaking in this delicious meal?
Rip that tie off your dang neck. Absolutely.
I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord.
You kidnapped...
When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner.
I hate you so much. Okay. Why are you so...
He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes.
Why are you so weird? What the fuck was that? Oh, wait.
Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
You did not just say that, right?
Exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then?
I knew you were gonna do this.
Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Galvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima.
You turned Varus into anima?
It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo.
What's up, Digital Salon? Yep. Nicholas, I can't explain it. I got kidnapped. That's
fair enough.
Spoilers.
But do not let your disdain deprive us of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion.
What does that even mean?
Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone. At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
What? So he's doing this for me because he just wants me to do it?
Will you not finish your meal?
Why are you wearing a suit?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger. And it would seem my friend has lost her appetite.
I don't have an appetite.
I hoped
don't
this
have
display of civility
body
might prove an entertaining diversion. But clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Sessiion, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
This music is stressing me out.
Or together.
What the fuck does that mean? You did not just take my entire body, right? You're lying. You're lying. You're lying! Get the...
Dear, whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity.
What? What the f does that mean?
Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue.
Oh my fucking gosh.
Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
Are you serious? There's no way. What? You're definitely kidding, right? You're not making me... Oh my god. I have nothing. What am I... What? What am I supposed to do? I have... I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Oh my gosh, I'm afraid. Oh, I'm aware. That's afraid. Okay. I see this guy. Yeah, so basically, my body got kidnapped, and then they mind-jacked my body, or my mind, into this body, and then my body got taken by Xenos. And now, I'm forced to play as an Imperial, and I'm about to die! Are you... Stop trolling me.
Perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows.
No. Do I not have the actual ability to recover health? Oh, great. Yeah, go figure. Oh my god. Okay, well, this is nutty. This music is actually godlike, though. Shit. Okay. And you drop nothing. Wow, this is ridiculous. Okay. 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 That thing is gonna see me if it doesn't turn around. Wait. Oh god. Okay. This is a weird. So this is a weird maze. All right. Everything's fine. I got this. I'm here. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well that was a circle for practically nothing. Can I go this way? Maybe? Sick. I have to go... Where the heck do I have to go? Alright. I mean, we got a maze here. So... Oh. Bro, where the F? Alright. I mean, everything is fine. I'm just honestly trying to figure it out myself, but this is something else. No, I can't go that way. Don't look at me. I swear on so many levels, don't look at me. I'm still in shock that my body got wrecked. I got body snatched, man. Okay. Alright, listen. Don't you dare. Oh, man. The weave. The perfect weave. Oh, shit. Okay. I gotta figure this out now. Hold on. Okay. care. What? That's me. Bro, I would never want to be an Imperial. Can I bang myself? Absolutely not. Find Reaper eventually. What? I gotta find it. Oh, God. Alright. I gotta find fuel and I gotta find an identification key. Okay, I found a medkit. That's cool. Alright, I get it. We actually gotta find stuff that's actually gonna allow us to turn on that robot. Sick. Alright, well, the mission to... Oh, shoot. What? Yeah, these have been inside the game since freaking 1.0. I mean, 2.0 definitely. 1.0, I mean, whatever. But yeah, they've been around for forever. I have so many medkits. Bruh. Okay, I mean that's fair. But yeah, they've been around since the dawn. I mean, 14 is like by popularity known for like taking assets of other games in the main series and kind of like adding their own twist to it. So, bruh, I've literally been doing this for like something like 5 or 10 minutes. Actual. I don't even. Oh man. Ooh, this is a better place to go through. Okay, well I'm swimming in medkits. Here, what does this thing do? The worst thing that could happen is that the hand sees me. Okay. When 14 first came out, it had similar title to 12 in most of history. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how it was for all the games considered. Yeah. Because the expansion that this game is deriving off of is heavily on 4. Like Final Fantasy 4, and I think parts of, some aspect of 10, but mostly 4. Okay, well you didn't see me, so that was nice. Can you turn around, please? Thank you. Well, all things considered. What's around that corner? Ooh. Maybe I can grab this. I gotta carry it? Oh my god. Alright. Bro, I don't even remember where the heck I saw it. Okay. Actually, yes I do. This is a quest. At least though, they made the music literally epic enough to the point that like I can vibe. Despite the fact that I've been doing this for already like 15 minutes or something crazy like that nature. I've been doing this for longer than I think I should have. Okay, Imperial, don't see nothing. Good man. Yes, sir. Good man. Oh. Okay. What? Oh. You've not been turned, thank goodness. There's only one left. Not the best I got my hand, take my magic heavy for. If you can press the leg, though, should be worth to take this key. If I use my hand, I saw a chance to piece of it. Okay. Alright, I think it's go time. Oh, okay. Phew. Dot on. Hold that. Okay, now. Who's that right there? There's a person right there. Okay. Great. Actually? Okay. Phenomenal. Love it. Want it. Gotta have more of it. Would be nice if I could actually kill that bomb from a distance without it actually hurting me, but... Don't swing at me! What is wrong with you? Yes, sir. Okay. Progression. We're making progress, actually. Bruh, excuse you? What the fuck is that thing? Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, actually? Okay. This is actually crazy. Okay. Okay. Nope. What does that mean? Okay. Do not tell me that I wake up with 50 HP to my name, right? Are you fucking kidding? What the? Okay. Okay. Like, we're kidding, right? Okay. This is insane. I'm not even like anywhere near the camp. Like, I'm not even halfway. Okay. Jeez. Oh my pain!
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Eulus? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Why are you playing this music right now?
Right when the first wave struck. We'd be fools to think it a coincidence.
Right?
But where even to begin the search? No one saw her leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well she can handle herself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
No. No. I'm not ready for this.
Case closed.
Great anime.
That's her, over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive her presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But... where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Don't make me pick an option of voice actor, I swear.
All's well that ends well. Are you alright?
Are you alright?
Oh, fuck.
Who are you?
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go.
What?
But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I've yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, though. Charitable souls that you are, you bent over backwards to aid them. Heedless of the delay, predictable to a fault, and so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether, and then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
This mother.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. She's awake.
Perfectly fine, yes. I hope the same can be said of you.
Everything in working order?
Everything except for my brain.
That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Bruh. No.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
That was insane. That was insane. That was insane. That was actually insane. That was insane. Yep. Okay. That was actually mother effing insane. Okay. Yes, I'm doing well. Good though. I promise I won't the same for Daniel and Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they are satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? Pray to the final days or no, this ends now. Yeah. Gateway of the Gods. Now that you've recovered, Lucia would have a word with you. Okay. Are you well enough to make your report? Yeah. I got kidnapped, mind-jacked, and literally forced to suffer. He took a dead body and put my mind and soul in a dead body. What? This animal was summoned with the corpse of Emperor Varus. I can't believe that that's what happens. Your body feels yucky? True. Mine too. Yo, I can't believe that he used... It seems not. More to the point, we can surmise that the wave of ether issued from the Tower of Babel from the primal lurking within it. Yo, I can't believe that. A primal whose cry rang more loudly in your ears than ours. No wonder they've been calling out to Varus. If you were taken to the tower itself, then this proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is the beating heart of the Telephorid's machinations. In which case, we have some highly relevant information. As many of you know, ever since we dispatched troops to free the Leviers, we've been developing a plan to infiltrate the tower. According to Thancred and his scouts, the main structure is lousy with tempered and enemy magitech. Furthermore, the road leading to it has collapsed, making it difficult to approach in numbers. Thus, we propose dividing our forces into two parties, one to distract and one to infiltrate. The diversionary force will be comprised of the Ishgardian, Gridanian, and Levincian delegations. They will begin the construction of bridges to make the Talophoroi believe we are marching upon the tower. Meanwhile, the best suited for our Alamegan, Ul'dah, and Eastern comrades to use a different method of ingress. Okay. Look here. The facility marked in red is the Enceladium, a vast magitech manufactory in ruins now, of course, but the freight tunnel connecting it to the erstwhile Imperial Palace remains intact. While the Talophoroi's attention is elsewhere, our infiltration force can use it to enter the tower undetected. Be aware, however, that the underground rail network remains very much operational. The Templars are using it to bring supplies to the tower even now. If it can carry their material, it can carry us too, providing we sneak aboard unseen. The Scions will lead the infiltration party. Once inside, you must locate and dispatch from Daniel and Xenos. We will save the people of Garlemald, once and for all. I, Julius, and so many others have lost so much to Talophoroi, we shall ensure they lose no more. How quickly can we enact this plan? Fandina made it quite clear that haste is a priority. A paramount concern, even assuming he didn't name the tower Babel on a whim. In Amon's time, it meant Gateway of the Gods. Xanda used it to refer to a void gate, but in this case, it almost certainly alludes to something altogether greater. The eldest and most powerful of primals. All the more reason to act now. The rest of the contingent is aware of the plan and is ready to move at the moment's notice. You are to proceed north to form patents. Lisa's group will meet you there. As ever, we are grateful for your foresight. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Spare no effort in your preparations. Oh, we gonna pick him up. I'm gonna be his whole entire... Yo, I'm gonna wreck him. It's motherfucking time. It's time. What the fuck is that thing? Okay, what to say? That's like an S or an A rank or something. I would have been very scared. Time to actually kill. It's happening. Real talk. After I find these aetheryte, this aetheryte thing. I need that thing. .449 to the east? Okay. Haste is a priority, but not priority enough. Not enough to go get these aetherytes, you're right. These honestly will take some precedence at the moment. They're not gonna be too mad about it, so it's okay. We have enough time in the game and the world to go get this stuff. And hopefully they don't get mad at me later on. I mean, if I can like parkour through all these rocks and whatnot, that'd be cool. 50 yards to the northeast. Okay. Hey, this is the last one, and I can fly wherever I want. Well, considering when I beat the fight, the quest, of course, but yep. Can I? Oh yeah, let's go. That was amazing. Parkour. It just reminds me of the Office episode every time now. Bro, what happened over it? Jeez. Freaking mortar launcher just smacked the ground with freaking fury. Okay. Hey, let's go. Lisa's ready to fight. As am I. The way to the tunnel is clear. We made sure of it. I wish we made sure to bring a coat instead. Oh, the shoe will be on the other foot once we're in. Believe me, a good fight should warm us right up. Liddy. Better than a cloth to swallow a newborn. Clearly, if you spend too long around this feral dog of a Dothral. Watch your tongue, fool, else I feed it to the crows. You want to fucking tussle? You will see who is the fool when you freeze to death. Expect me not to warm your ill-prepared hide. These furs are for myself and my Nama alone. Should I be blessed to meet her this day? As if any woman of worth would wish to be warmed by you, little son. Should we find such a warrior within, she will bask in my glorious flame. Bruh. How can they even hear with horns for ears? That's because they got these ears. Stop, both of you. Save your fire for the enemy. As for extra furs, I have plenty to spare. As do we. Yo, we coming through though. Yo, we rolling in deep, alright? They not ready for the power. Hello, everyone. All set for battle, I see. Yes, sir. Yes. Free of unnecessary encumbrances, if rather more susceptible to the cold, let's review our strategy quickly, if you don't mind. Liddy. Pippin's group has gone ahead to the Sorry, I totally, like, weirdly blah blah blah. It's gone ahead to the Sessiion. We have to meet them there. Bruh, fashion report though? True. You right. Absolutely. It's out now, so gotta go check out that later on. We will wait until the Temper's attention is drawn by our diversionary force, then we sneak onto the train. Next stop, the Tower of Babel. If any, Tempered included, are injured, we Zayla will tend to them. You Scions must press on no matter what. Gotta look good when you die, gotta look good when you win. I always look like I'm ready to fight somebody with my, you know, my spear and back out at the ready. We should avoid moving as a group into our underground, so we'll need to make our own ways to the Ensladium Sea there. That's fine. Sessiion's gonna jump over there. How's gonna levitate? I'm gonna freaking just take a bike. We finna ride. All right, that giant tree though. Oh, that's a rank. Got it. Now, how do I sneak inside of the base? Haha. Haha. Alright. We're in there. Watch it be the wrong way. No. Okay. Alright, Pippin, what's up? Hey, it's good to see you. We heard that you collapsed, but we're given only the most cursory explanation. I'm glad you recovered and Cookin took part in the operation. In the operation at that. I can't talk. As you'll have heard, we secured a way in. Some of you are to remain behind to keep your escape route clear. Our comrade from Lentis Tears will lead the way into the station. I'll join you soon. The station is right this way. Tread lightly now. Yes, sir. It's time. This is everyone. Okay. Consider the enemy well and truly distracted. Time to go. Our primary objective is, of course, as Telophora's leaders. But should we be presented with an opportunity to vanquish Anima, we must seize it. If it is indeed the force behind the towers, destroying it will deliver our allies from the Telophora's reign of terror. I, for one, would not see the Garling people manipulated any longer, be it by Primal, Ascian, or anything else. Here, here, that's been enough of that. We came to help the people of Garlemald, and that's what we're going to do, together. Till the very end. The train should be along any moment now. Prepare to board, everyone. We're getting on a train? Let's go. Oh, I'm ready. Next stop. Victory. Bruh. This distraction, though? W. They don't want it. Let's go. Oh, I'm gonna kick some actual butt. Let's get it. Here's the truth, though. Not gonna lie.
Right then.
I want my homeboy. Yes, sir. Let's get it. It's time. We're gonna double dragoon this up. It's gonna be lit.
Now or never.
We stole your train, Mark. It's time to go. Yo, let's go. We wait to clear the rain of train effect before we arrive, or things will get nasty. Why can't you attack? Because there's no. I don't have it up right now. There's no avatars up right now. That doesn't make any sense, actually. How are you gonna say that when we're literally like of the same? Hello? Nah, that makes no sense. Also, what's up, Jose? How you doing? Yo, you wanna go? This honestly might just become my favorite new dungeon. Not gonna lie. Love you too, Jose. Look, Captain, help me free them. Okay. Listen, you're fine. There's none of that in here anyways. You were definitely not being one. Everything is a-okay. Oh boy. I wonder what the boss is going to be like for this fight, because there's no indication at all. I just realized that. Like, the final boss of the fight isn't even going to be Anima. Or the dungeon, rather. I mean... Oh, I'm curious now. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that it's going to be the Archfiends, but that would not make sense. It's gonna be the coolest thing ever, bro. Honestly, it's honestly been the coolest thing all for the past 18 hours. So we in here. Oh, it's Barnabas and Dr. Lugay. Oh no, of course it is. Of course it's the Robot Man. Okay, that was like not what I expected, but okay. I mean, I did that correctly, so I don't really know why it... I guess I didn't, but I don't know. That's gonna probably push. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, he's injured. Oh, that's right. That is an actual thing. Your 14 character name is Rona? Actually? What they could possibly need such a name to live for? Whoa. So far, so good. Okay, I mean, you know, we're here. Alrighty, let's get it. Who's next? Don't mind if I do. Ooh. Hello there. Friendo, buddy, old pal. Let's get it. Oh, I see now. It's going to be. Okay. Or yeah. Okay. Aha. Okay. I like it. I get the references. I appreciate. What the? Oh, I get it. I gotta be a toe because it's underwater right now. Got it. Okay. That was weird as hell. Oh, there's spirit bombs. Okay. Oh, shoot. Dumb. Yeah, okay. I kind of figured. That makes sense. Whew, okay. Hey, let's go. We got the whole squad together. Let's get it. Well, let's go this way. Okay. Not bad. I sense great evil all around us. Bruh, I feel that. Me too. I'm actually kind of scared. Alpha, so let's find out. Who would call an area Iron Womb? Pregnant robot. I have no idea. It's Anima. What the freaking is this? Alright. What does she do, or he, I guess. But like, Anima already? Yo, I got questions. What are you doing over there? I do not understand why you are over here. It warrants questions and quite a bit of confusion. Okay, well, I mean, we're gonna find out, so let's find out. Oh, jeez. I do. Do not put the claw down. Alright. What did I tell you? You bum? But what are you doing here? There's... I'm intrigued by this now. Okay, we'll find out. I'm very curious. Okay. What are you doing right here, right now? Why are you here? Okay. Okay. This has gotta be some kind of AoE, right? Okay. Oh, and there's black hole. Okay. Okay. I see. Oh! Alright. I tried to risk it. I tried to greet it. Okay. 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 I almost cried. I was not aware. That's a move. That's a move. That move hurts. Holy crap. That was not what I was expecting. Oh my god, I wasn't ready for that at all. What? Alright. Holy fuck. Okay. 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 This is what... I mean... Oh, shit. Fucking sick. It actually uses Oblivion. That's sick. That's sick. I'm sold. It wasn't playing games with Oblivion. That thing hit actually like 20 times. Alright, I understand it this time. However, that's actually insane. I like how he tried to use it and then he didn't actually use it. Bro, I got it. I understand it. Yes, sir. 100 cast is death? Probably, bro. Actually, yeah. Ooh. We're almost done. Come on. Uh-oh. Mama. Okay, this time? Can it? Hello? Alright. Okay. I'm a little bit I'm somewhat confused. A little bit. I'm a little bit confused. We're gonna find out. I'm under the impression that Anima was gonna be the trial. Anima's not the trial? There's no way, right? What, like... we're gonna see. Wait, Anima's not the trial? They haven't revealed the trial? What? I gotta wind up Anima? Minion? Bro, W? Anima's not the trial? Are you serious? There's no way. Who's the trial?
Farewell, Varus. May the gods have mercy on your soul.
What is it? Maybe. There's no way.
Come. The other two await.
The impression that they made it very clear in the live letter or the trailer was that Anima was the Okay. 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 Hold up. Anime isn't the trial?
This madness ends here.
Oh, hush. This is the best part.
He scares me, man.
Oh, mighty Zodiac! Awaken from your slumber and descend!
Some manner of magical defense?
What the Huh?
Cryo? But how?
It's not.
The shackles that bind my adversary will not be so easily broken.
Hyden! Feeble relic of a forgotten age! Hark! Victory is mine! No more ether. And I was so close. My lord, a slight change of plans. We shall travel to the moon and break this wretched barrier ourselves.
What?
Whatever it takes.
What was that?
The final order issued by Anima to the Tempered Thralls. Should the Empire fall, the world must share our fate.
Of course. Father lacked the conviction to give such a command. The abomination born of his flesh was but a puppet, and I the puppeteer.
You madman, you monster!
There's a funny joy in watching your flailing attempts to fight the inevitable. You're all going to die, and are powerless to prevent it. We really must be on our way. You're welcome to give chase, provided you are content to leave comrade and tempered alike to die screaming.
What?
I have asked too much of this child. Tend to her. The last brand at Mare Lamentorum is yet unbroken. Zodiac remains bound. I have shifted the flow of ether and sent the enemy far from their destination. Now, I shall divert it once more. An ally awaits, and I will deliver you unto him. Seek his aid. Restore the seal. Zodiac must not be set free.
The Tempered are running wild. Not only those at the tower, but those back at the camp. The others are doing their best to contain them, but the situation is growing beyond our control.
Leave them to die or give up the chase. Just like Fandaniel said.
You're going alone? You have our trust and our faith. I pray we have yours. Our friends and the Tempered need our help. We will save as many as we can, I swear.
Once we have matters well in hand, we'll join you on the moon. Until then, be careful. There's no telling what you'll find.
This is how we go to the moon? Okay, hold on. Yo. Anima's not the trial? This is the impression that I've had since the beginning of time. How are we playing this game this much and he's not the trial? But like, what? That's insane. Okay. I'm thoroughly like at a loss of words. Okay. Hold on.